Chat. It looks like on a cold winter day, most of us are curling up with a warm drink and staying cozy indoors, followed by bundling up and going for a winter walk, both good for your mental and your physical health. Awesome. Well, hello everyone. I want to welcome you to our first Wellness Wednesday webinar of 2026. My name is Katie Powell. I'm a very proud well-being consultant here at CareFirst, and I'm so excited that you are here with us starting out the new year. We all hope that you had a happy, healthy, maybe somewhat restful holiday season. If you joined us in December, you know that we focused on financial wellness around the holidays. And we announced our new theme for 2026, which is Wellness by Design, Crafting Your Best Life. So we are going to start off strong this year and we are going to dive into winter wellness, a time for new beginnings and new healthy habits. Our presentation today is called Beat the Chill and Boost Your Health. Over the next 45 minutes or so, we're going to talk about what is winter wellness, which I'm pretty sure most people can guess. We'll talk about tips and ways to boost your immunity for all year long. We'll talk about the connection between the mind and body as it relates to the winter season, give you some tips for living healthy at home, and then always provide you resources that CareFirst has available to you to assist you in all of your well-being efforts. All right, so let's understand winter wellness. I'm sure many of you can guess winter wellness means supporting your physical and mental health during the colder months specifically. The colder months are when days are shorter, there is less sunlight, and colder temperatures. All of those affect your body and your mood. The cold hard truth, no pun intended, is it means that we need to pay extra attention, even more so than the rest of the year, to our mental health, to staying active, to eating well, and finding ways to keep your body and your mind balanced throughout those colder, darker, shorter months. We are going to teach you over the next 45 minutes how to focus on these habits so that you feel your best and you thrive all year long, not just when the sun is out, but even when it's cold and dark. January itself provides some unique wellness challenges. We have that post-holiday transition. So we've ended the holiday season. Many people are experiencing shifts in their routines. There's less social interactions. It's colder, it's darker. There's not as many exciting things to look forward to or people to visit during this time. So that in and of itself can affect mood and motivation. Along with January comes elevated cardiovascular risks. So I did not know this, but heart attacks climb over 30% when the temperature drops during the month of January. And that is because the cold weather can constrict blood vessels, it can raise blood pressure, and both of those things increase the strain on your heart. I also didn't know, but learned during research through the American Heart Association is that the week between Christmas and New Year's is considered the deadly week. And that is because the stress and the poor habits and the change in routine can cause heart attacks and heightened health challenges, which is really crazy. I like to think of the week between Christmas and New Year's being the week when you don't know what day it is. You know, is it Tuesday? Is it Thursday? Is it trash day? Respiratory illnesses also surge during this time, and we're going to really dig deeper into this, but almost 50%, almost half of all respiratory illnesses occur in the month of January. So we're talking flu, colds, your upper respiratory infections, etc. And then there's the concern of mental health during this month specifically. And if you've heard of SAD before, it stands for Seasonal Affective Disorder, and that affects 15 million Americans each year. Has to do with the shortened daylights, colder temperatures leading to feelings of depression and fatigue. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how actual hormones play a role in that as well. But as you can see, winter wellness is important, and it really proves to be even more so during that January timeframe. So just from that introduction, knowing what we know now, would love to hear from you all in the chat. How are you prioritizing your well-being this winter to protect yourself and your family? So go ahead and drop that in the chat. Exercise, flu shots, love it. Exercise, good one. Eating healthy, wearing a mask. Yes, yesterday I was in a clinic and masks were mandated because where I am in Hartford County specifically, there is crazy high flu A going around. Going to the gym, walking, staying indoors, taking vitamins. You guys are on it. These are all such great ways. Yep. I love it. Keep it coming. So, we're not going to really go into goal settings this year. We're focusing more on winter wellness, but last January we focused on building habits. This year we're focusing on taking action, but we didn't want to not give some credit and attention to the new year and how a lot of people are focusing on new beginnings and new habits. And we really just wanted to provide a couple different ways in which you can be successful during the winter season. So, simple things like stacking habits. This is one of my favorite examples. What is something you do every single day? Maybe you brush your teeth or you make your morning coffee, whatever it is. Is there something you can do at the same time? I always say brushing your teeth because we do that twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. Can you add marching in place? Simple, right? You're standing there anyways. Why not march in place? By doing that, you've added 4 minutes of physical activity to your day. When you times that by 7 days, that's, an extra almost half an hour, and then it keeps going and multiplying. So if you do that in all different ways, you'll really build a healthier lifestyle. There is a misconception too that it takes 21 days to form a habit, but studies actually show it can take anywhere between 2 and 5 months. So if you're not succeeding right away, it's okay. Give yourself time, give yourself grace, and really just keep going. I'm always a big advocate for being realistic in your goals. There's going to be days where you just don't feel well or schedules get wonky. It's okay. How can you readjust? And then celebrating small wins. So, just some things to think about as we go into the rest of this presentation. All right, we're going to talk about boosting immunity. This has to be one of my favorite slides. In the chat, has anyone been sick this winter or have a family member that has been sick this winter? A cold, the flu? I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of yeses. Yes, yes, yes. Well, that's not a surprise, right? Winter is peak sick season. The cold weather coincides with flu, cold, and respiratory illnesses, which makes our immune system more vulnerable during these times, which makes prevention harder. Currently navigating the flu. I hope you guys feel better. Um, Being indoors, more time indoors is inevitable, right? The temperatures dropped, we're all inside, we're close in proximity to others. This creates the perfect environment for germs to spread, especially in spaces with poor ventilation. We're coming off of, the holiday stress and being just kind of out of routine, right? irregular schedules, different eating habits, those can weaken your immune system. Um, Kids, to no fault of their own, just touching different things and bringing it into the house where the whole family is. That's a way of germs to be carried throughout. I really love this hand. It reminds me of my own kids. You know, they touch a phone, they shoot a basketball, they open the doorknob, they touch money, and without realizing it, they touch their face or they touch something else. I love the commercials. I think it's Lysol where somebody sneezes and it shows all the different germs flying in the air. We don't see that to the naked eye, but all of those little particles land on places. That's why it's so important to clean. But if you imagine that when somebody's sneezing, you know why it's so easy for germs to spread. Somebody knows which one I'm talking about. And then there's that whole you're missing school, you're missing work, you're the caregiver, all of it just kind of adds up, and there's a ripple effect that happens. And we're going to talk about this in a second, but typically we rush to get back to work and to school without the proper amount of time to not only get rid of the germs, but to allow your body to, be at its peak performance. So we want to think about not just getting sick and preventing that, but also supporting your immunity all year long. And that's something that we can do by building healthier habits. So some of this we're already doing now, but just want to kind of remind people things like hand hygiene, frequent hand washing. I love my girls. When I tell you being a mom is the best thing I've ever done, it is. But when they get home from school, before I even say hello, I say wash your hands because I love them so much. But also, I don't need all those germs in the house. Clean smart. So I think a lot of people like they just don't know. You really just need to focus on those high volume areas the majority of the time. So doorknobs, toilet seats, those high touch surfaces, a good spray, quick wipe down is a great practice to do all year long. Teaching not only yourselves, but your family members proper etiquette. I think we're doing a good job since COVID of knowing how to sneeze and how to cough properly. Um, Wearing masks for so long really protected us from so many of those other things like colds and respiratory issues, but we're not wearing masks as much. Somebody just said light switches. Yes. What are other ways that we're germs, remotes, cell phones? I take my husband's cell phone. He goes in and out of schools, and I wipe his phone down all the time. Yes, stair banisters, shopping carts. Yes. And I love now Target, my favorite, and a lot of the other ones have the wipes right there. So you can wipe it down and throw it away and go on. Layering up and dressing for the weather. I'm sure you've heard this before. Your mom or parent might have always said, wear a jacket, you're going to catch a cold. Well, dressing warmly doesn't directly kill any germs, but what it does is it helps keep your body strong and less susceptible to infection and things like that. So it actually is really smart. Ventilating indoor spaces. I do this every time something goes through the house. I don't care if it's 2 degrees outside. I start opening up all the windows and letting the fresh, clean air in. But it's actually a really good practice to do all year long. I actually have my window cracked behind me now just because it's a cooler breeze, it's bearable, but I think that's going to be something I do. Some people are saying I ventilate a lot, the steering wheel after being sick. Yes, one of the best things I learned as a mom trick was after everyone is sick to change out all the toothbrushes. Like, what a great idea. It's something we don't really think about. Even if you have a brand new toothbrush, throw it out. It contains germs. And just staying up to date on the vaccines that are for you and your whole family. So, just some tips. And if there's anything else that you guys do to support immunity, please put it in the chat. So recovering from from an illness or sickness, it isn't a race. It should be a slow and steady process. I have the worst guilt. And anybody, please tell me if you do too, when I miss work, especially if it's, not planned. Like I wake up in the middle of the night and I've caught a bug or something like that. I just feel this guilt. I can't help around the house. I can't get my kids ready for school. It just it weighs on you. And on top of that, then you're sick, right? So you want to try to avoid that. Everybody should try to have that mind frame where I need to be well. I need to take care of myself so that I can get better to take care of others, right? So just some, quick tips is things like sunlight exposure. You can aim for a couple minutes. This will help your rhythm and boost your mood, maintain a heart healthy diet, so eating nutrient dense foods, which we'll talk about, staying hydrated. Staying hydrated is so, so important. Water helps to flush out toxins and keeps your body functioning at its best, especially when you get sick, when you get something that makes you maybe vomit or go to the bathroom, you're losing lots and lots of fluid. So we want to replenish them when and if possible. And then rest and sleep, right? You know, when you're really, really sick and you just sleep so hard, that is your body saying, hold on, we're shutting down, we're repairing, we are getting healthier, we need this. So listen to your body. Take your time to recover. I love this. Just looking at the chat. Oh, okay. The mind body connection. So, a little question, poll question for you guys. Do you notice changes in your mood, your energy, or your motivation when the days get shorter and colder? Try to provide mix shorter and colder in one word. I love this. I try to walk outside every day. It makes such a difference. Yeah, I love that. Vitamin C, vitamin D3. Okay. So for majority of us, we are less motivated and more tired. I sorry that that is, but that leads perfectly into what we're going to talk about next, which is kind of the why behind why do we feel that way. Um, First of all, in the winter, we are waking up in the dark and we are ending our day from work in the dark. It's just facts, and it's has its effect on your mood. During the winter months, we know it affects mood, we know it affects energy, and it's because your body is changing how it uses energy. I kind of think I was a little naive and before and just, it's because it's dark, it's cold, but there's like physiological responses that the body is doing. So in the summer, our body tends to burn more energy. And in the winter, it shifts to storage mode because there's less sunlight and it's colder out. This can make you feel slower and have less energy. I also didn't know before, but the body changes how it uses the energy in the winter due to a combination of factors: environmental, physiological, that's like sunlight, temperature regulation, seasonal metabolic adaptation, and behavioral changes. And because of these, our hormones get out of balance. So it really has to do with a hormonal response. Cortisol is our stress hormone. We want to have lower levels of cortisone so we have lower levels of stress. This can fluctuate in the winter time, which makes us feel more anxious and irritable. Melatonin is our sleep hormone. This increases because of longer nights and less daylight, which can make you feel tired and sluggish. So if you're in your mind thinking, why can't I get up and why can't I do this? It's not just you. It has to do with everyone. And just in the chat, I'm interested to know, does anybody feel more tired on the days when they are not physically active. So on the days when you sit all day, you don't do a workout, you don't get to walk the dog, do you feel more tired? Hard, yes, yes, yes. Isn't that crazy? I just, the mind and body just blow me. And that's because what we're doing is we're releasing the stress hormone, the cortisol, by being physically active, and we're motivating our bodies, and we're pumping the the blood circulation. So as tired as I am, some days I'm like, I need to do this for my mental health and to make sure I can get it throughout the day without feeling like I need a nap. I love this. Okay. Seasonal affective disorder. So we hit on this on the first slide, and we know that 15 million Americans are affected by SAD. This is linked to more than just the winter blues. So this is um, due to the lack of sunlight. It affects the body's internal processes, including the production of serotonin, which is our feel happy hormone. It regulates our mood, and melatonin, a hormone that controls our sleep. So we know that lower levels of serotonin can lead to things like depression, fatigue, etc. Winter blues are kind of, normal. It's cold, it's dark, but having real feelings of sadness, um, oversleeping, gaining weight, and having these feelings for more than 2 weeks, excuse me, warrants a doctor visit because it could be something more than just winter blues. It could be this seasonal affective disorder. There's lots of causes. We know this: sunlight, melatonin production, lower vitamin D levels, and our circadian rhythm disruption as well. So, the primary risk for SAD, seasonal affective disorder, includes things like living far away from the equator, having a family history of mood disorders, being younger or female, or having a pre existing mental health condition. So, with all this being said, how can we build resiliency in our mental health? Seasonal changes, they're a natural part of life, but they don't have to rule your life. So, reduce stress as you can. We want to have lower levels of cortisol. We can do things like practice yoga, meditation, mindfulness. We can be physically active, go for walks, take deep breaths, sit outside. Always, always, in almost every single topic we talk about in Wellness Wednesdays, we talk about sleep. The quality of sleep means getting, adequate REM sleep, restorative sleep, 7 hours. And I feel like each person knows how much is the right amount for them. Like if I only sleep 7 hours at night, you're going to be able to tell. Versus I get a full, great 8.5 to 9 hours, I'm a different person. So kind of know what works for you and really try not to forego sleep because you want to get other things done. Sleep is your body's best friend. You can always find support. So these feelings, if they are lasting a long time, obviously they warrant a doctor's visit. But even if it's just kind of lingering and it's on your mind, you can talk to somebody, a therapist. You can reach out to friends and family. You can find different new hobbies or habits that you look forward to, especially during the winter months. Another thing we can do during the winter is look out for our nutrition. So, this also goes with so many different topics, chronic conditions, overall health and nutrition. It plays such a big role in our energy, in our immunity, and in our mood. And in the chat, another question for you. If you were to eat a high calorie, high fat meal, do you feel worse than if you were to eat a light, nutritious, healthy meal? Worse. Exactly. Right. So that's your body's way of saying, hey, um, that wasn't the right choice for you, or I didn't get any nutrients or health or anything, you know, good out of that. While every once in a while it's great to indulge, for the most part, our body needs these things to regulate. So we always say eat a balanced plate as much as possible. You take a portion, a 9-inch portion plate, and you divide it into fours. And there's a place for a fruit and a vegetable and grains and proteins. If you're diabetic or you have high blood pressure, there's little tweaks that you can make to it. But overall, it's just bringing all the different food groups into your diet. That's really helpful. Protein and fiber are really great as well. Fiber keeps you feeling full for longer. It's known to prevent lots of different chronic conditions, even cancers. Helps us to build muscle and repair tissue. And then water. Our body is primarily made up of water. So we need to keep that water levels adequate. Drinking water should be a daily goal for all of us, no matter where you are. If you're only drinking a couple sips, that's just your starting place. Maybe that's the healthy habit that you habit stack in the morning while your coffee's being made. Maybe you drink water, things like that. There's other key immune boosting nutrients, so things like vitamin C's, which is citrus fruits, peppers, and dark leafy greens. Zinc is really good as well. That can be found in lean meats, legumes. Vitamin D can be found in fatty fish, fortified dairy. Um, and then there's, just the other things, zinc, omega 3s, etc. All right. I was reading the comment about the cough and the cookies. Um, in the chat, would love to know, what is your winter comfort food? What is your like, oh, that sounds so good. Soups, pasta, chili. Comfort foods in the winter, they serve a dual purpose. They're not just about hunger, but they're also about providing, physical warmth or that emotional warmth. There's physiological components of nutrition. Hot teas, crock pot creations, potato dishes. I love it. The next slide talks about staying on top of nutrition. So, your comfort foods, they can be healthy, or maybe there's ways that we make them slightly healthier. So many of you guys are saying like chilies and soups and stews, all of those can be packed with beans and fibers and proteins, which is amazing. I'm a pizza girl. I could eat pizza every day. Using like a whole grain crust could be good. A healthier type of cheese. Pastas, same things that you can do. We're having smaller portions and larger portions of the greens and the healthy fruits as well. All right. So, sorry, I keep reading these comments, and now I'm like, what am I going to have for lunch? Comfort foods can be allies. They can help you in maintaining the health and energy and emotional well-being that you need. We know that when we eat high calorie, high fat, carb foods, we don't feel that good. That can be motivation to say, I'm going to choose some healthier options, or I'm going to choose a smaller portion. We don't need extra stress on ourselves in addition to, what we're dealing with winter wellness as well, plus the guilt of not eating healthy and then not feeling good. All of that, plus the lack of motivation, lack of daylight, colder temperatures. So hopefully it's your motivation to just choose maybe some healthier options. Root vegetables, hearty soups sound good. Whole grains with lots of proteins and fibers. You guys, so many of you are saying this. Sweet veggies, I love that. Rutabaga. Football adds an additional stress. I get it. I'm a Washington Commanders fan, so nobody hears that louder. And then fermented foods are also winter wellness guardians. So lots of different ideas for you here as well. Moving on to just overall winter wellness lifestyle choices. We're going to talk about physical activity in a minute, but whether it's indoors or outdoors, um, find a way to do it because we know it improves our mood and our energy. Stress management. How do we lower our cortisol levels? How do we maintain a healthier balance? What for you is stress relief? And maybe you share them in the chat. What helps lower your stress? Is it breathing for a couple of minutes? Is it reading a book, taking a bath, walking, you know, sometimes a guided imagery or sitting in a hammock, whatever it may be. I love that. Coloring, walking dog, teas, crosswords, sometimes silence alone can do it. We did talk about this a little bit, staying socially connected. So, finding friends or family that you can confide in or habits and hobbies that you can partake in. And then avoiding things like smoking and excess alcohol. So, tips and tricks for healthy living at home. This is going to take us kind of into the physical activity piece of it. We know that physical activity releases those serotonin, good feeling hormones. It lowers our cortisol, which are our stress hormones. We know that it makes us feel better. We know that we should be doing it for overall health and well-being. I think there's a lot of misconceptions of what 30 minutes of physical activity looks like. Not all of us can dedicate 30 minutes, but can you dedicate 10 minutes? Can you do it in between meetings? Can you do it when you're watching your shows at night? Um, Netflix and all of those kind of take away most of the commercials. But, if there's a commercial break, just standing up and marching in place or helping your kids with homework. You can do things like turn everyday chores like vacuuming and going up and down the stairs like cardio. Um, Even things like carrying the groceries in instead of carrying 18 bags and having all of those red marks from carrying everything, take in 2 bags, put it away, go back out to the car. You're not necessarily making it harder, but you're making it more intentional for your physical activity. I like to do family fitness in my house. We are fortunate enough, we have a little gym in the basement, so we do some, family workouts, but sometimes we just bump the Taylor Swift music and we're dancing, or, when it's snowed at and the kids are sick of being outside, can you make obstacle courses, pillows, jumping, forts, just movement. Step challenges is always great. Something with competition in a lot of people, and I am this way too. If I'm competing to get like the most steps or the most active minutes, it really motivates me. I don't know why. But physical activity at your fingertips is probably one of the most fortunate things that we have, especially coming out of COVID when the world shut down and gyms shut down, and people really had to navigate physical activity. You can do physical activity anywhere. You can do it in your office, you can do it in your driveway, you can do it when you're traveling. These are just a couple different examples, and there's a QR code to find online workout tools as well. But every morning, usually I'll type in 20-minute Pilates to Google, or I'll type in 30-minute HIIT class, and I'll scroll through them and I'll look for ones that, I like. And it's free, it's easy. Sometimes I have to pause it because I have to run upstairs to wake up a kid for school. However you fit it in or incorporate it should be celebrated. It should be a pat on the back because it does take us more in the winter months, especially when it's cold and it's dark, to get up and to do physical activity. But no, you can do it anywhere, anytime, any amount of minutes. 30 minutes really is the goal. If you can do it in 10-minute increments, maybe 10 in the morning, 10 in the afternoon, and 10 in the evening, you've got it. Oh, I love somebody said the Care First Wellbeing tab has great free ideas as well. And a lot of you saying ways that you reduce stress, book club, dry January, meditation, coloring, dancing. I love it. Playing and chasing my granddaughter around, all wonderful things. Warmth and well-being. So this winter, especially this January, we're really just focusing on prioritizing well-being. And these are just some additional tips. So things like layer smart, make sure that you have enough clothes, that you're warm and we're not having to regulate temperature too much. Treat yourself to teas, soups, warm, healthy comfort foods. Use your space wisely. So things like opening the curtains, even positioning your desk. I know it sounds crazy. I'm very fortunate to have a desk that moves, but I will change it in the direction of the sun. Even coming through the windows, I feel like it's at least something. Protecting your skin and staying hydrated. Like I said, my husband goes into so many schools, and so he washes his hands so much, and they are so torn up because they're literally like breaking. So finding really good hand lotions or hand sanitizers that help also repair your skin, and make sure that you keep your blood flowing. That's kind of the whole key to it is keep your blood flowing, keep your heart working, keep your cortisol levels low, try to improve your serotonin levels, try to make sure that we're taking care of our mental health as well. Awesome. Lots of different ideas. Anybody else have any winter wellness tips? What are things that we could, oh, that's a good one, coconut oil. What are things that we could all do to keep our wellness a priority this winter? I think what I'm going to do is definitely carve out time. Be intentional. It's easier in the warmer months when you can just go outside on your lunch break and take a walk. You can't really do that so much if there's snow or ice. I like people are saying plan time, put it on your calendar. Go into the nature, even when it's cold out. Yes, our animals still need to be walked. That's what I like to say. Self-care, just keep moving, be patient with ourselves. I had set a goal to get up 4 days out of the work week and do exercise before my girls get up. And one day I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And instead of feeling guilty and mad at myself, I just pivoted and I said, okay, well, I'm going to do it after work. So while my daughter was in dance class, I bundled up and I walked around. So I made it work. Vitamin D, lots of good things. So don't worry, we're still here to help throughout all of the winter. Today was winter wellness. February is heart health, and really excited to have an expert medical director join us. And then March will be nutrition. So throughout this year, we'll provide the tools and the tips and all the tricks you need to be the best you. As always, Care First provides endless amounts of resources to help assist you in all of your well-being efforts. If you have Care First insurance, or if you may have an employer that offers Care First wellness, we offer Care First Wellbeing. It's our platform that can be utilized via the desktop or an app, and it really is your one-stop shop for everything health and well-being. There's a health assessment on there that can tell you how old you are in health years, and that will then tailor everything you see in your Care First Wellbeing platform to be customized for you. It's always really fun to see what your real age is. My real age still says I'm in my 20s, but that is not what my license says. There's personalized health timeline feed of ongoing recommendations, videos, articles, insights, quizzes, tracking capabilities so you can sync your wearable devices. There's challenges that can keep you motivated. There's your own unique health profile. And then we have core programs as well. So in addition to the platform and everything you get within Care First Wellbeing, you can also see the core programs if they're of interest to you. Health coaching, we have two different pathways. We have lifestyle management, which anyone can join. This is a telephonic program where you get a dedicated certified health coach. You can work on lifestyle behaviors such as I want to exercise more, I want to eat healthier, I want to sleep better, I want to lower my stress. We also have disease management, which you do need to qualify for by having one of our 10 core chronic conditions. So things like asthma, COPD, diabetes, etc. You'll still get a dedicated health coach, but your health coach will be a registered nurse or some type of clinician, and they'll be able to dive a little bit deeper into the clinical component or aspect of your condition. So you can ask them questions about your medication, you can talk about your numbers, etc. Both of these, again, are telephonic. We have two different weight management programs that we'll talk about. We also offer a smoking cessation program. So if you're still smoking and you think this is the year, we can help you quit and stay smoke free. We also have a free financial well-being program called Smart Dollar, as well as a discount program. It's online shopping, has to be my favorite. It's called Blue 365. So we talked about personal health coaching. We can talk about close-knit. So close-knit is 24/7, 365-day care accessible through health services. Essentially, close-knit can be your primary care, your urgent care, your mental health care, as well as your specialized care, all virtual. Or you can use it simply for urgent care, however it best fits to you and your healthier lifestyle. Close-knit can be downloaded for the easy to use app. Blue 365 was the discount program I talked about. So essentially, the CareFirst Blues Association has negotiated discounts with retailers across the nation on a wide category of classes, of category of discounts. Sorry. Within each of these categories are a ton of different discounts. And it's not just physical activity or nutrition. There's also home and family, there's pet, there's hearing and vision, travel, etc. So lots of different ways to find discounts. You don't have to go back, but I did want to mention the two programs, the healthy eating and the healthy eating and the diabetes prevention are called Noom and Eat Right Now. You do need to qualify for those. So if that's of interest to you, you can go into CareFirst Wellbeing and navigate to the U section, go into the benefits and search the category for health and fitness, I believe. And within that is Noom and Eat Right Now. They are both weight management, diabetes prevention programs. They are structured differently, so it will give you more information, but that could be an option as well to keep you motivated. So just some questions coming up. The PowerPoint will be available to you. It will come out in a comprehensive email with some follow-up as well. That usually takes about a week, as well as the recording. Got some good feedback on Noom. The rewards program is independent of your employer group, so you would want to reach out to your HR to see if that's something for you. And last but not least, more CareFirst resources. Hopefully you can see or feel that we really try to wrap our arms around our members and to give you a holistic approach to improving your health and well-being by providing as much resources and tools as we can. So we have Find a Doctor, which is a directory. We have a preventative care checklist, as well as a pretty amazing health library. And then care management programs for any of our members that are facing serious or complex healthcare needs. So I want to thank you so much for joining our Wellness Wednesday webinar. We're kicking off the year with winter wellness. I know it's a long, cold, dark month, but we're motivated, right? We are going to increase serotonin, reduce our stress hormones. We are going to prioritize our mental health well-being. We're going to prevent illness as much as possible so we can build our immunity. We are going to prioritize physical activity, and we are going to have a happy and a healthy month. So I look forward to seeing you all in February for heart health, and take care. Thanks, everybody.